All right, so here's the calculator part. I'm going to remind you again, don't go in order. Attack this, find the weaknesses, the short questions first. Don't leave anything blank. Do your best. Stay positive through it all and try to do the best you can at the end. I'm going to go through every question in order just because, but I don't want you to do it when you actually do it. All right, John runs at different speeds as part of his training. The graph shows his target heart rate at different times. On which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing and then decreasing? So that means it goes up and then down. Between 0 and 30, it goes up, it stays straight, and then goes down. Not it. 40 to 60, it goes up and then goes down. That is it. It increases and then decreases. Number 2. If y equals kx, where k is a constant, and y equals 24, and x equals 6, then k must be what number? So divide, and you get the answer 4 for y, or for k, I mean. So k is equal to 4. I want to know what y is. So k is 4, x is 5. So if you multiply it together, the answer is 20. Number 3, in the figure above, there are two lines that are parallel, and these two lines are parallel. If the measure of this angle is 35, then what's the angle of measure 2? So 2 is obtuse. This angle matches actually with this angle here. This, they're called supplementary. I just have to go 180 subtract 35 to get the answer. So the answer is 145. Number 4, I haven't even used my calculator yet, but if you had to, you could go that with your calculator. If 16 plus 4x is 4 more than 14, what's the value of 8x? And so I'm going to do this to begin with. That's 26. I'm going to solve for 4x, so subtract. Again, you can use your calculator. 14 take away 26. And then 8x would be to multiply this times 2. So 8x is equal to negative 24. What did I do wrong? So 16 plus 4x is 10 more. So 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14. So that means it's 24. Let's try it again. Subtract 16, then multiply times 2. So 8x is equal to 16. So even though I thought I did it, I thought the answer is not even there, right? So I have to rethink, can I be a good reader and do it? Number 5. Which of the following graphs best shows a strong negative correlation? That means it looks like a line going down. So that answer is D. Next, number 6. See, those are easy questions, just weak. Attack this thing. A hospital stores on one type of medicine in a 2 decagram container. Based on the information given above, how many 1 milligram doses are there in 1 decagram? So 1 decagram is equal to 10 grams. 2 decagrams is equal to 20 grams. So that's what we're looking at. And then based on the information, how many 1 milligram doses are there in a 2 decagram container? So then you have to understand 2 grams, how many milligrams are in that? So you got to add some zeros. 20,000 milligrams is 20 grams. 0, 0, 0, so the answer is 20,000. Number 7. The number of rooftops with solar panels installations in 5 cities is shown in the graph above. If the total number of installations is 27,500, what is an appropriate label for the vertical axes of the graph? So this is the city, and then it says what's an appropriate level. So how many installations in tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. If the total is 27,500, this is 9, 5, 6, 4, 3.5. So 14, 10, that's 24, that's 27 and a half. How do I get to that? I move it 3 to the right. I'm going to sneeze. That's 1,000, 3 to the right. So the answer is C. All right, number 8. For what value of n is it equal to 0? So n minus 1 plus 1, if I subtract 1, the absolute value can never be negative. There is no such value. Number 9. In questions 9 and 10, refer to the following. You have an equation. The speed of sound wave in air depends on the air temperature. That's T. The formula above shows the relationship between A, the speed of the sound wave in feet per second, and T, what the temperature is. And which of the following expresses the air temperature in terms of speed? So if you solve for T, what would you do? So I would subtract, and then I would divide by $1.08 or 108. And there's the answer, 9. It's A. Which of the following air temperatures will the speed of sound wave be closest to 1,000? And then this would be a good example of using a calc. So make it equal to 1,000 and solve it. I definitely would use my calculator. Whether you have an 89 or an Nspire, whatever it is, you go to solve it. So find algebra and solve, and then just type it in. So like 1,000 equals 1,052 plus 1.08 t or x, comma t or comma x, and then solve it. So make it equal to that, solve it. So the answer is closest to 48, negative 48. You do not need to show work on your SAT. You just work. So whatever scratch you want to do, just go for it. All right, number of seeds in each apple. So I got 2, I got 4, I got 1, I got 2, I got 3 there. Based on this histogram, which is the closest average to it? So the number of apples and the number of seeds. So the number of seeds in each of the 12 apples. So if I look here, is that even shaded in 4? I don't think 4 is shaded in, is it? No. So 6 plus 20. I'm just going total seeds. 6, 14, and 27. Use your calculator and add that up. And you get 73. How many apples are there? Divided by 12. So the average per apple, 73 divided by 12, I get about 6. And you have your answer. Number 13. A group of 10th graders respond to a survey. Ask which math course they are currently enrolled in, and you can see it. The survey data is broken down as shown above. Which of the following categories accounts for approximately 19% of all respondents? So the total of all respondents is 310. I want to know when I divide that, the answer is 19%. That's what I want to figure out. So to get x by itself, multiply by 310. And then do your calculator. That's really 0.19. So 0.19 times 310. And what do you get? 58.9. And then I look, which one looks in terms of 58.9%? Or which one gives you that? And if you look, which number is closest to that? You'd say, oh, that number is closest to 59, which would be males taking geometry. All right, lengths of fish. The table above lists the lengths of fish to the nearest inch of a random sample of 21 bullet fish. The outlier of 24 inches is an error of the mean, median, range of the values listed. Which will change the most if the 24-inch measurement is removed from the data? And so the mean would be the average, the median would be the middle number, and if you look, the middle number wouldn't change as much because the middle number in order is between 12 and 13, so it's not that. The range going from this to this would now change from this to this. So that would be 8. That's a big number. The actual average wouldn't be that big in terms of it. And they will all change the same amount as wrong. So the one that would seem to change the most, the biggest one, would be the range in terms of it. Number 15. Questions 15 and 16 refer to this information. The graph above displays the total cost C in dollars of renting a boat. What does the C intercept represent in the graph? So here's the C intercept, and that represents the original fee or the cost before it goes per hour. So it's the initial cost of renting the boat. That's 15A. Which of the following represents the relationship between H and C? In other words, what's the equation of that line? The slope of that line would go up. It's at 5, right? So up 3 and to the right 1. So it's 3. And the initial price is 5. So the slope and the y-intercept. 17. The complete graph of the function f is shown in the xy plane above. For what value of x is the value of f at x? A minimum. So there's the bottom. What's the value of x there? 1, 2, 3. That would be negative 3. 18. In the xy plane, 0, 0 is a solution to the system of equalities above. Which of the following relationships must be true? So, if you have a positive slope, for this to be true, this is a kind of a tricky one to think through. So x plus b, or negative x plus a, what must be true if 0, 0 is a solution? So 1 has a positive slope, and the other has a negative slope. And so the one that has a positive slope, this must be less than this that has a negative slope for 0, 0 to be an answer. It has to be in between them. So for the negative slope, the y-intercept must be higher, and this one must be lower. So b must be bigger than a, or a must be bigger than a. So the negative slope, if that's a, and this is b, a must be bigger than b for this to work for that. So the answer is a. That one is like, I get that. That one's a tougher one. Number 19, a food truck sells salad for $6.50 each and drinks for $2 each. So $6.50 for salads and $2 for drinks. They make $836.50. And then it says the total revenue from selling a total of, so that's x plus y equals 209. And then you could use your calculator to solve this. And so how many salads were there? So that's what x is. So I'm going to eliminate here. I'm going to go negative 2x, negative 2y, negative 418. So I'm going to multiply it by that so that the y's can be eliminated. So if I add this up, that's $4.50. Use my calculator, 836 and 50 cents. Again, this would be a question I save for the end. Subtract 209, 418 I mean. And then take that answer. So that's 418.5. Take that answer and divide it by 4.5. So the total number of salads was 93. It's not a beauty contest. You're attacking this in whatever it takes. You don't have to show perfect work. Number 20. Alma bought a laptop computer on a store that gave a 20% discount off its original price. The total amount she paid to the cashier was P dollars, including an 8% sales tax on the discounted price. This is one I would leave for the end. Which of the following represents the original price of the computer in terms of P? So Alma bought a laptop computer at a store that gave a 20% discount off its original price. The total amount she paid to the cashier was P dollars. So like let this be the original price. 20% off means 80% remain. The total amount she paid to the cashier was that, including 8% sales tax. So 8% sales tax included on that would be times 1.08. And then which of the following represents the original price that would be paid? So I would multiply 0.80 times 1.08. The answer is C. Oh, let me try this again. So this is what P equals, right? So P equals 0.8 times 1.08x. I want to know what x equals, so I have to divide by 0.8, 1.08. This is the original price, so it's P divided by that. There's your answer. 21. The data in the table above were produced by a sleep researcher. When asked to record the dreams for 1 week, Group X consisted of 100 people. Group Y is 100. A person is chosen at random from those who recalled at least one dream. So at least one recall would be right here. So add this up and then subtract it from, well, here, 36 take away 200. So 200 take away 36 is 164. And it says if a person is chosen at random from those who are these, what is probably the person belongs to Y? Group Y is right here. So for Group Y, how many were there right here in Group Y that does not include that, the none part? That would be 79. So it would be 79 over 164. Done. All right, a lot of information. I'm going right to the question. So which of the following best approximates the average rate of change in the annual budget in Kansas from 2008 to 2010? That's a slope question. So the denominator is going to be the year. So from 2008 to 2010, the difference in that is 2. And then the numerator is going to be like how much? So in Kansas, 2010, in agriculture, right? In natural resources. So agriculture, 2010, 488. I won't even write it down. So take my calculator and subtract those two numbers. 488, blah, blah, blah. 358, blah, blah, blah. Use your calculator. And what answer do you get? So if you subtract it, you get 129,398. And then when you divide by 2, so then take those two out. So you subtract them. You get this number, divide by 2. And you get 65, almost 65,000. So the best approximation would be that one, the closest answer. Of the following, which budget ratio of its 2000 budget to its 2010 budget is closest to the human resources program from 2000 to 2010? So, first of all, the human resources here, 2010 to 2007. So I'm looking for a ratio that's close to, I just rounded, to 3 over 2. And so which other one gives me a ratio that's close to 3 over 2? Or 2 over 3? On ratio of the budget 2000 to 2000. So flip it around. 2 to 3 or 0.67. So which one is that? 2/3 in terms of what we're looking at. 2/3. There it is. Education. 2 over 3. Done. 24. Which of the following is an equation of a circle with this center? So that'd be x minus 4/3 plus y minus 5 let me try that again. So the center is 0, 4. So that's x squared y minus 4 squared. X squared y minus 4 squared. Nope. Nope. All right. Next, I need to know the distance between this. So to find the distance is the Pythagorean theorem. So it's the square root of, and I subtract. So 5 take away 4. 4 over 3 take away 0. And then that's what I answer. That's the distance formula. That's 1 plus 16 over 9. Anyway, use your calculator. Dang it. Just type that in your calculator in terms of it squared, and you get 5 over 3. And then for this formula, you square it. So a circle would be squared. So the answer is A. 25. The equation above expresses the approximate height in meters of the ball after it's launched vertically from the ground with an initial velocity of 25 meters. So after approximately how many seconds will the ball hit the ground? So you make it equal to 0. Use your calculator. You go menu, algebra, solve. Go solve, put this in, comma t, and the answer is 5.1. That's how you do it. So the answer closest to it is 5. Katrina is a botanist. Type A trees produce 20% more pears than B. Based on this, if type A produces 144, how many pears did B produce? How many more percent? 20%. So I'm just going to take 144 divided by 1.2. And that gives me, use your calculator, gives you 120. 27. A square field measures 10 meters by 10 meters. 10 students each mark off a randomly selected region of the field. Each region is a square and has side lengths of 1 meter and 2 regions overlap. The students count the earthworms contained in the soil to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in the region. This is definitely one you'd save for the end. The results are shown in the table below. Which of the following is a reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in the entire field? All right. So first of all, the entire field is 10 meters by 10 meters. That's 100 meters squared. And then which of the following in terms of 5 centimeters deep? And then 1 meter by 1 meter So 10 students mark off randomly selected region of the field. Each region is a square and has sides 1 meter, and no two things are alike. Count the earthworms containing a soil to a depth of 5. Here's the results. So it's 1 by 1. And then how many do they have? So if you look at it, it seems like on average they all found like 150 about. So if I look at all the numbers above and below, 150 would be a good center number to go by. So if I went 150 times the 100, that's how many worms there'd be in total. Man, right? That's a thinker. Made me think a few times. 28. Don't get stuck like that. That's a good lesson right there. Never get stuck. You move on, and come back if you have to. In this system, 2x plus 1 and 1/2 x take away 1 is graphed above. So here it is. It goes up. Here it is. It's not quite as steep. Which quadrant contains no solutions to this system? So the first one is above, and the second one is below. So the solution's right here. So this is it, this is it, this is it. So the only quadrant not being used is 4. Because it's above both of them. So it's above both of them. So each quadrant's being used. This is the only quadrant that's not being touched. 29. For a polynomial, p at 3 equals -2. Which of the following must be true about p of x? So if that is true, if p at 3 is -2, that's the remainder theorem. So if I plug in p, the remainder is -2. So x minus 3 is a factor. So that's the remainder when it's divided, and the remainder's -2. All right, which of the following is an example? Is an equivalent form of this equation graph shown in the xy plane, from which the coordinate of v can be identified as constants in the equation? So we have, to factor it out, we have -5 and +3. And then we have 1 and -16. So 1 and -16. So which of the following is an equivalent form for which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified as constants in the equation? There's 1, there's -16, and that's it. These would identify the x-intercepts. Number 31. Wyatt can husk 12 dozen ears of corn and at most 18 dozen ears of corn. So between 12 and 18, what is a possible amount of time in hours it could take Wyatt to husk 72 ears of corn? So to get this to 72, that would be 5, right? 6. To get this to 72, that would be 3 hours, right? So 18, no. So this for 6 hours, what's 72 divided by 18? That's 4. So between 4 and 6 hours to get it done. And that's what you put in. More than 4, less than 6. 32. The posted weight limit for a covered wooden bridge is 6,000 pounds. A delivery truck that's carrying identical boxes, each weighing 14 pounds, will pass over the bridge. if the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500, what is the maximum possible value for X that will keep the combined limit of the truck below the bridge's posted weight? So it's carrying X identical boxes weighing 14 pounds each. So we're going to add 14X to this, and that has to be less than 6,000. So I'm going to subtract 4,500. So 6,000 subtract. I'm going to divide. And then 1,500 divided by 14 gives me 107.14. And so that could round to 107 pounds. So the maximum weight per box would be 107 pounds as an even number. Number 33. The number of portable media players sold worldwide. According to the line graph above, the number of portable media players sold in 2008 is what fraction the number sold in 2011. So in 2008, it's 100. In 2011, it's 160. And so the fraction would be 100 over 160. You could also write that like this, or you can write that as this, and you have the fraction. A local television station sells time slots for programs in 30-minute intervals. If the station operates 24 hours a day, every day of the week, what is the total number of 30-minute time slots they can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday? All right, so Tuesday and Wednesday is 48 hours. 30 minutes for 24 hours, that's 48 altogether. That's 96. So you have 48 hours, and in 48 hours, you could sell 48 of them in terms of 2 per day, 2 per hour. So really think of it as 48 and then 2 per hour, and you get your answer. It'd be 96 cents. That's it. All right. Mr. G Math over and out. I'm proud of you. I hope you do awesome on the SAT.